A tiny bird bends forward and slips its bright red bill deep into the ear of an enormous animal. It is not searching for food for itself alone. Every tick it removes, every tiny insect it finds, and every loose strand of hair it gathers may soon become part of the survival of hungry chicks hidden inside a quiet tree cavity. This is the remarkable story of the red-billed oxpecker, a bird that spends much of its life riding on the backs of Africa's largest mammals. Yet the most fascinating part of its life is not simply how it feeds. It is how it builds a home, protects its eggs, and raises delicate young using materials collected from the bodies of the giants around it. Across the endless African savanna, the red-billed oxpecker is easy to overlook because of its small size. Standing beside a buffalo, a giraffe, or even a rhinoceros, it appears almost insignificant. But once it lands on one of these powerful animals, it moves with complete confidence. Its sharp claws grip firmly onto thick skin while its watchful eyes examine every wrinkle, every fold, and every hidden corner where parasites may be waiting. Its red bill reaches carefully toward an ear, through short fur, or into narrow creases where ticks often remain unnoticed. For the large mammal, the bird may be a familiar visitor, sometimes welcomed and sometimes slightly annoying. For the oxpecker, however, the animal is an important source of food. Everything changes when the breeding season begins. Every journey to search for parasites suddenly has a much greater purpose. Feeding is no longer only about keeping an adult bird alive. Every successful search may determine whether a nest full of growing chicks survives. Before eggs can be laid, the birds must first find a safe place to raise their family. Unlike many songbirds that weave open nests among branches, the red-billed oxpecker chooses something much more protected. It searches for a hollow inside an old tree trunk, a hidden chamber where sunlight enters only through a narrow opening. This quiet shelter becomes the beginning of a new generation. From the outside, the hollow looks ordinary, nothing more than a dark opening in weathered wood. But inside, careful work begins. The birds carry in dry grasses one piece at a time. Fine roots are arranged across the floor. Then comes one of the most unusual materials of all. Soft hair, gathered from the mammals they visit each day, is placed inside the nest. These strands of hair are far more than simple bedding. They are pieces of the surrounding savanna, collected from buffalo, giraffes, antelope, and other large hosts. What once covered the skin of giant animals now forms a gentle cushion for the eggs that will soon rest within the darkness of the tree. The nest does not need to impress anyone. It only needs to protect fragile life. It must remain enclosed, warm, soft, and secure enough to shelter the next generation. Soon, the female lays her eggs. The smooth eggs rest among dried grass, tangled roots, and soft animal hair. Their pale surfaces seem to glow against the darkness surrounding them. Beyond the tree, the African plains remain filled with sunshine, dust, and the heavy footsteps of enormous mammals. Inside the hollow, however, everything feels different. It is calm, warm, and quiet. Only a single entrance connects this hidden nursery with the vast world beyond, while every hope depends upon the careful attention of the parent birds. The incubation period is perhaps the quietest stage of the entire life cycle. No chicks call for food. No tiny mouths stretch upward. Only patience, warmth, and constant dedication fill the days. Researchers have recorded that red-billed oxpecker eggs often hatch after approximately 2 weeks of incubation. Yet in nature, the exact number of days matters less than the complete dependence of the eggs. They cannot generate enough warmth by themselves. They cannot defend themselves from danger. They cannot search for food. Every chance of survival rests entirely with the adults. While one parent remains close to the eggs, the other flies out to forage before returning again and again throughout the day. Each journey leads back to the familiar bodies of Africa's largest animals. There, The bird searches carefully through ears, around skin folds, beneath short coats of hair, and across areas where parasites often gather. With remarkable precision, the red bill removes ticks and discovers tiny insects hidden beneath the fur. The partnership between oxpeckers and their hosts is not always straightforward. Although these birds remove many harmful parasites, scientists have also observed them feeding from open wounds on certain animals. Nature rarely fits into simple ideas of right and wrong. Instead, it is filled with relationships that are both beneficial and complicated at the same time. For a nesting pair, however, one fact remains clear. Food must continue reaching the nest because new life is almost ready to emerge. Eventually, the silence inside the hollow begins to change. A fine crack appears across the surface of one egg. Soon another follows. From inside the shell, a tiny chick struggles toward its first breath of fresh air. No young bird enters the world with strength. It arrives fragile and vulnerable. Its skin is soft, its eyes remain closed, and its neck can barely support its head. It knows nothing about the vast African plains beyond the tree. It has never seen the buffalo, the giraffe, or the rhinoceros that have unknowingly helped sustain its family. It does not understand the countless journeys its parents have already made across dusty landscapes, searching through fur, ears, and skin for tiny parasites. For this newborn chick, the entire world is only the nest itself. The soft animal hair beneath its body, the darkness surrounding it, the warmth provided by its parents, and the small circle of daylight shining through the entrance are all it knows. Yet hatching is only the beginning. Very quickly, hunger becomes the greatest challenge. The chicks require food almost constantly. Their tiny bodies must develop rapidly if they are to survive. Day after day, they transform from helpless hatchlings into stronger young birds with open eyes, growing feathers, and increasing awareness of every returning parent. This places even greater demands upon the adults. They must forage more frequently, travel faster, and return with food again and again. One search may begin on the broad back of a Cape buffalo. The oxpecker grips tightly as the massive animal continues walking across the grasslands. Tilting its head, the bird probes deeply into folds of skin. Another visit may take place beside the ear of a different host, where hidden parasites often escape notice. Sometimes the bird gently parts the short hair covering the skin. Other times, it plucks a tiny tick free with a swift movement of its bill. From a distance, these actions appear simple. But inside the tree cavity, every parasite collected becomes another meal for waiting chicks. Every successful feeding provides the energy needed to grow feathers, strengthen muscles, open bright eyes, and survive another day. Whenever the parents return, the peaceful nest suddenly bursts into activity. Tiny beaks stretch upward while weak necks reach toward the entrance. Although the chicks cannot yet understand the world beyond the tree, they recognize one thing perfectly. Food has arrived. With each passing day, remarkable changes become visible. Bare skin gradually disappears beneath soft feathers. Eyes open wider. Legs become stronger. Their necks no longer shake with every movement. The nest that once seemed spacious slowly begins to feel crowded. The young birds press together beneath the narrow beam of sunlight entering through the opening. Instead of lying quietly on the layer of animal hair, they become increasingly active. They respond eagerly whenever their parents return, calling louder and stretching higher toward the entrance where daylight appears each morning. Field observations show that young red-billed oxpeckers usually remain inside the nest for several weeks before they are ready to leave. During this short period, they undergo an extraordinary transformation, changing from smooth eggs into fragile hatchlings, then into feathered juveniles preparing for their first flight. As the chicks continue growing, the protective tree hollow no longer feels as large as it once did. The small entrance that once represented nothing more than light now becomes a doorway to an entirely new world. Beyond that opening are the giant mammals their parents visit every day. Beyond it are rough hides, broad ears, dusty coats, tangled hair, and countless tiny parasites hidden across the bodies of Africa's wildlife. Long before the young birds ever saw this world, it had already been supporting their lives. Eventually, the moment arrives when one young bird steps toward the entrance. It is no longer the weak hatchling that struggled from its shell. Its body is covered in feathers. Its muscles have grown stronger. Instinct now guides its movements. Even so, it remains inexperienced. Outside, the sunlight feels brighter than anything inside the hollow. The open air stretches endlessly in every direction. The wind carries unfamiliar scents across the plains. Leaving the nest is more than simply departing from a tree cavity. It marks the beginning of life as a true red-billed oxpecker. From this point forward, its future will always remain connected to the giants of the African savanna. It will spend its days clinging to massive bodies, exploring deep ears, searching through thick coats of hair, and moving across skin many times larger than itself. The young bird first rested upon animal hair collected by its parents. It grew by eating food gathered from the bodies of enormous mammals. Soon it will master those same skills for itself, discovering hidden parasites that few other birds ever notice. It will become part of one of nature's most unusual relationships, a partnership that is helpful, complex, and endlessly fascinating. This is the extraordinary life cycle of the red-billed oxpecker, a tiny bird, a hidden tree hollow, carefully protected eggs, hungry chicks, and an immense savanna where giant animals quietly contribute to the survival of a much smaller neighbor. From the backs of Africa's largest mammals begins the remarkable journey of one very small bird family.